Hey guys, welcome to Code. In this episode, we are going to see how to record the changes to repository and what are the main concepts behind it, which includes how Git track the new files, how to view the tracked and untracked changes, making commits to the repository. In this episode, we are going to cover a lot more things, so I would recommend not skipping any part. So without wasting any time, let's get started. In the previous videos of this series, we have already covered a lot more information about Git. The link of this playlist is in the description below. I'll strongly recommend you to watch that series of videos first. If you have seen those videos, then at this point you should have a simple Git repository on your local machine. Now we will see how to start making changes and committing the snapshot of those changes in your repository each time the project reaches a state we want to record. The thing to remember is that each file in our working directory can be one of the two states, tracked or untracked. Tracked files are the files that were in the last snapshot, or you can say a commit, as well as any newly staged file. They can be unmodified, modified, or staged. In short, we can say tracked file are the files that Git knows about. Untracked file are everything else, any file in our working directory that were not in our last snapshot and were not in our staging area. When we first clone any repository, all of our file will be tracked and unmodified because Git just checked them out and we haven't edited anything. Let's quickly see the flow of files from different Git areas. As we know that newly added file that are not known to Git is in an untracked area. Whenever we add these files by Git Add command, immediately all the files are transferred to the staged area and now it's ready to be committed. Next, let's see how the files are floating in between unmodified, modified, and then the staged area. The files present in unmodified area are well known to the Git but didn't have any changes since its last commit. Any changes to these files, it can just a simple modification of a single letter, maybe word or anything, whatever the change you do, transfers the files into modified area. The files present in modified area are ready to move in the staged area now. As we stage the file by doing git add command, the area of the files immediately changes to the staged, and we know that the file present in staged area are ready to be committed. So making a commit moves the file from staged area to unmodified area back, which is an area where the files that are not changed are present in the last snapshot. So let's see the last scenario where the files transforms from unmodified to tracked. For that, we just need to remove that file from Git repository, and then the area of those files is untracked. I hope you have understood the motions of files among these areas, and we will understand these concepts in a better way in the examples. So let's go for an example round. This is my Linux terminal, and I'm in the Git repository we have created in the last video, that is demo. When I do ls here, you can see that there is a .git directory. By changing my current directory to this .git, you can see there are multiple files and then directories present which are responsible for tracking this repository. So let's not go in more depth and then change the current directory to the back. To determine which files are in which state, there is a command called Git Status. And if we run this command directly after a clone, we should see something like this. This means we have a clean working directory. In other words, none of our tracked file are modified. Git also doesn't see any untracked file here. Finally, the command tells us which branch we are on and informs us that it has not diverged from the same branch on the server. You can see that the branch is main here. For now, the branch is always main, which is default one. So don't worry about it here. We will go over branches and all those concepts in more detail in the upcoming videos of this series. So let's say we have added a new file to this project, a simple readme.file. And if this file didn't exist before, that you can see previously we just have a contributed.md, and this readme.file is the new one that I have created. And then when I run git status here, you can see that this is a untracked file because it's under a untracked file heading in our status output. Untracked basically means that Git sees a file we didn't have in a previous snapshot or commit and which haven't yet staged. It won't start including it in our commit snapshot until we explicitly tell it to do so. In order to begin tracking a new file, that is this readme.md, we need to use another command, that is git add. To begin the tracking the readme.file, we just need to write git add and then readme.md. Hit enter, and if we run the status again, we can see that readme is now tracked and staged to be committed. We can tell that it's staged because it's under a changes to be committed title. And if we commit at this point, the version of the file at this time we ran git add is what will be in the subsequent historical snapshot. The git add command takes a path name of the either of the file or a directory. If it is a directory, the command adds all files in that directory recursively. And let's say you don't want to mention any path here, so you can use git add dot. This dot will add all the files that are on the untracked to your tracked area. Now let's change a file that was already tracked. We know that which file is already tracked, that is contributing.md. And if we change that file, let's make a change in contributing.md and then save it. And when I run git status again, the contributing.md file appears under the section name changes not staged for commit, which means that file that is tracked has been modified in working directory but not yet staged. To stage it, we run the git add command. Git add is a multipurpose command. We use it to begin tracking new files, to stage the files, and to other things like marking merge conflict file as a result, and then run git status again. Both the files are staged and will go into your next commit. At this point, suppose we remember one little change, that I want to make some change in the file contributing.md before we make a commit. So we open it again and then let's make a change here and save it. Then we are ready to commit. However, let's run git status once more time. What is this? Now contributing.md is listed as a both staged and unstaged. It's strange, and even how is it possible that? It turns out that git stages a file exactly as it is when we run the git add command. If we commit now, the version of contributing.md as it was when we last ran the git add command is how it will go into the commit, and not the version of the file as it looks in our working directory when we run the git commit. If we modify a file after we run git add, then we have to run git add again to stage the latest version of the file. If the git status command is too vague for you, then you want to know exactly what you changed, not just which file was changed. You can use the Git Diff command here. It most often used to answer the two questions: what we have changed but not yet staged, and what we have staged that we are about to commit. Although Git status answers those questions very generally by listing the file names, and Git diff shows you exact line added and removed in that particular patch. So when I do Git diff here, you can see that I have changed one in contributing.md. Let's edit the readme.file by making slight modification and adding another a word here, and stage it back by using git add command, and then edit the contributing.md file by slight modification, and then save it without staging it. If we run our git status command to see what we have changed but not yet staged, type git diff with no other arguments. That command compares what is in our working directory and what is in our staging area. The result tells us that the changes we have made that we haven't yet staged. If we want to see what we have staged that will go into the next commit, we can use git diff staged. That is the extra attribute we want to place here. This command compares our staged change to our last commit. It is important to note that git diff by itself doesn't show any changes made since our last commit, only changes that are still unstaged. If we have staged all our changes, and git diff will give us no output. Now that our staging area is set up the way we want it, and we can commit our changes. Remember that anything that is still unstaged, any file we have created or modified that we haven't run git add on since we added them, won't go into this commit. They will stay as a modified file on our disk. In this case, let's say that last time we ran git status, we saw that everything was staged, so we are ready to commit our changes. The simplest way to commit is to type git commit, and doing so launches a editor for me where we can see that so many comments are there. So we can remove these comments if we want, otherwise you can just leave it and just type your commit message in the end and exit the editor. When we exit the editor, Git creates our commit with our commit message. Now we have created our first commit, and you can see commit has given some output, which branch we committed to, what SHA1 checksum the commit has, how many files were changed, and statistics about line added and the removed in the commit. Remember that commit records the snapshot we set up in our staging area. Anything we didn't stage is still sitting there modified. So we can do another commit to add it to our history. Every time we perform a commit, we are recording a snapshot for our project. That's it for the video, guys. If you like the video, then please like, share, subscribe to get the notification of the latest video, and don't forget to write comments. Thank you so much.